What's up, YouTube? It's your boy C's from Motherland's Realist, and I still got one of my special guests right here, Mr. Dun Dun DJ. You know,
What's up?
I know anybody that been rocking with me on my channel. You know, the channel's Motherland's Realist. Make sure y'all see that little thing at the bottom and click on it. Subscribe to the channel. And if y'all like any of my videos, you know, just give your boy a thumbs up. So anyway, me and Danny was actually thinking about something that I think need to be addressed. I kind of feel that in society, like some people, and you know, mainly black people I'm talking about, you know, has a problem with their race. You know, and that's crazy, you know, because it's just like, why in the world would you hate who God created you to be? You know, like, to me, that don't make no sense at all. Because, I mean, you know, basically, you was born in this world to be who you are. And, you know, that really, to me, I feel like not even just in the black community, just anybody in general, you know, whatever race you are, or whatever race you claim to be, whatever the case is, you know. But my thing is this here, from my experience, I ran across some people that actually don't really like who they are. You know, they really feel some type of way just by being another type of race. And I'm just like, why in the world would they even feel that way? It's like, for example, there's one person, you know, I'm not mentioning nobody's name, but, you know, they pretty much had said that, you know, and it was a black individual woman. She said this about 3 times before, that she do not like being black. And, you know, and that to me is coming from something deeper than skin tone alone. And it's just, to me, it seemed like with that type of self-hatred that you have within yourself, that's the stuff that's gonna really hurt you in the inside, you know, instead of what's on the outside. Because I always feel, you know, you should really love yourself. You know, just like, look up the law of abundance. The law of abundance having to do with the universal law, having to do with the way you reflect within inside yourself is the way you reflect on the outside of yourself. So in other words, if you love oneself from the inside, how you love physically everything, and the way you view yourself inside, that same energy is going to come on the outside version of you. I mean, what you think about that, Danny? About this self-hatred of, you know, black people that, you know, they just, I don't know, they just don't love themselves, man. Like, yeah, you know, just be real about it.
Basically disrespecting yourself and who you are.
Yeah.
Who you were created to be.
Right.
I mean, we were all created for a reason and for the certain type of people that we are.
Right.
There's nothing we can do to change it. But if we do change it, it's not going to be for the best.
Right, right. Because the thing is, God created us the way how He wanted to create us. And in a way, it's good that everybody's different. You know, regardless of whatever, you know, happened in the past, you know, with the different areas, different climate changes and everything. And another thing, you know, y'all could Google this stuff, you know, when it came down to the original people of the earth, you know, the original people of the earth, which is the closest thing to God, the creator himself, is melanated people. And if you know who the melanated people are, you know who those people are. And that's why I say, even like in the media, society, they always try to demonize us, make us seem like, oh, okay, well, if you this color, whatever, like it's a problem. Why? Why it has to be a problem just to be who you are? You know what I'm saying? To me, it seemed more like a power trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people don't like you simply because you are who you are. And I feel like you should always love who you are, first and foremost. Not because of what the media say and all this other stuff. It's because you got to have that inside you anyway. You know, and that also, you know, goes down to like spirituality. What's your spirituality? Your spirituality is your essence. It's what makes you you. When you go through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the struggles in life. So when you actually go through things in life, that's how you end up gaining all this understanding, wisdom, knowledge. It's because of the good, the bad, and the ugly, especially the bad and the ugly. The good, yeah, that's what it is. That's cool and all, but you learn most of your lessons from the bad and the ugly things that go in your life. So the thing is, instead of then looking at everything so bad around you, flip it around and look at it in a good way. Because, things are circles for a reason. It's just like my hair, black people's hair. You know why people got this whole notion about, the straight hair is better than the curly hair and all this crazy stuff. What the heck does that even mean? Because the thing is, when you got curly hair, that curly hair is actually like curls as far as like a connection to the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like your hands. Your hands are reflectors to the sun. Just like when people put their feet on the ground. You know what I'm saying? That's earth and grounding. That's another video. But, you can learn things just off of just being who you are. And, I get tired of hearing people always with this straight hair, curly hair crap. Who gives a crap about all that junk? It really don't make no sense. And I feel that people need to start using their head instead of always listening to all this stupid stuff on the media, man. I mean, what you think about the media and all this stuff?
I don't believe or trust hardly anything the media says because it's not always true.
Propaganda.
All they do is they just take everything and they're just trying to create a story to make it sound interesting.
Yeah.
Catch your attention. And they'll take out the truths and put lies in.
Right.
Just to catch your attention because just about everybody attracted to lies, not
right.
truth.
That's right. And the thing is, just like my channel, Motherland's Realist. When I say Motherland's Realist, I'm saying Motherland as far as like coming from all four corners of the earth. Realist as far as me, myself. So in other words, it's not because of my complexion and who I am. It's because of everything, of every aspect of everything that I see in reality is a part of me. So in other words, no matter if you Asian, no matter if you Arab, no matter if you white, whatever, it's like I is you, you is me. We all the same when it's all said and done at the end of the day. It's really no difference. And I feel like people always try to promote this or promote that and come up with all these little different narratives in order to try to make people look, you gotta be this person, you gotta be that person. And that right there is how we always get tricked. It's because people always keep on separating folks. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's race, religion, or politics. You know what I'm saying? It's just always the same thing. I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I bleed like you do. I hurt like you do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I wake up, brush my teeth. Hey, I love my family just like you love your family. You know what I'm saying? What make that different? You know what I'm saying? Just because you got this old fake money, that this currency that they say is real or whatever, which is not really real. That's just a tool just to use people, which could be another video. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? People got to start thinking, man. They got to start really understanding this whole matrix, this whole thing that's in front of you, and learn from being out here, not because of what you're seeing on TV. You have to experience life out here in the real world in order to understand what's really going on. So what you think about that?
Well, I say this much, as it says in the Bible, when God created mankind, he created us in his likeness and image.
That's right.
Not to be like him, but to be like him.
That's right. And I know God never actually came up with this whole concept of hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, why in the world would I hate my fellow brothers and sisters? You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what a person outside looks are, at the end of the day, we all is one thing. Because even when you think about it historically, it started from the black, and pretty much every other race, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some people that probably ain't gonna like this video because they like, oh man, they were part of that Afrocentric stuff or whatever. It ain't got no Afro nothing. This right here is just a plain honest truth. But the same people that a lot of society hates. In other words, including some of the blacks out here that don't like they self and they hate other black folks. That's your problem right there. It's all that separation that you putting out there in order to try to make people look like they ain't a part of you, a part of me. At the end of the day, it's just like they say in Jamaica, I. You is me, you and I is you. You know, we the same. Regardless of what your complexion is, I. Meaning like you is one of the same. And everything when it's all said and done is one thing, which is God. And God is all a part of all of us, which is that one thing, that one universal law. So in other words, what are we fighting for? We fighting something that's not even real. Complexion, race, color, religion, so on and so forth.
Yeah. It's like if I was to sit up there and tell somebody, you know, I don't like you, it has nothing to do with the way you look.
Right.
It's about how you act.
Yeah. Just like Martin Luther King said, it's not your race, but the content of your character. It's what's inside here. It ain't got nothing to do with your race. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, people even got that concept wrong. You know, just like they'll be like, oh man, you racist. How in the world a person can be racist? You know, like me or look like this man. We don't control own anything. Race is actually a group of people who actually come together as a unit in order to build something and control something. You know what I'm saying? And all it is just a game. That's all this junk is. At least what they created to be. But in reality, it shouldn't even been a game at all. Because as far as universal law, there's no such thing as things like that anyway in the first place. The only thing that really matters is you being here and you do these three things. If you could provide food, clothing, and shelter and pretty much take care of your family, you good. You know, who cares about all this stuff right here? That don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I just get, you know, I'm one of them type of people. I get sick of like looking at stuff on TV where they be talking about, oh man, you know, this person fighting with this person on this country fighting with that country and all this stupid junk, man. Why in the world we need to be looking at stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense at all. People got dog fighting over what? Natural resources? Religion? What? You know what I'm saying? And then this is the contradiction to me right here. They always talk about religion. Religion this, religion that. The thing is, I thought religion was supposed to teach about love, light. People got to come together as one in order to be one with each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought, you know, it's supposed to teach about love. If religion is there to teach about love, why in the world we at war with each other? That don't make no sense at all to me when you really think about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that's why I'm not a fan of this stuff out here. You know? Because it's because of stuff like that. If you got you know what I'm saying, it's somebody that really love thyself, where it really first come from. That's where your first enemy and your first love come from, is within here. And I always said this on a lot of my past videos, if y'all been keeping up with me on my channel, that I say you gotta love inside here first. That's where the communication of that God center come from. It's from within. You know, just like how they said, as above, so below. And some people demonize that and trying to make that into some evil. That ain't even got nothing to do with them being evil. As above, so below, what they saying is the reflection of what's outside of you is the reflection of what's inside of you. You get it? That having to do with spirituality. You understand what I'm saying? That ain't got nothing to do with none of this old garbage that people putting out here on media. You know? I mean, what you think?
I mean, the thing that I take to see is, you know, you have to love yourself.
Yeah.
Before you love anybody else. If you can't learn to love yourself, you'll never be able to learn to love nobody else.
And that's just like on one of the past videos that me and him did. It was just like how he said, even like when it comes to relationships, you know how he said that, you know, you see people with each other, but how are they with each other? Because when you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? Just because somebody on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all this stuff, right? All these different social platforms, just because a person's smiling and laughing and giggling and all this kind of stuff, don't mean they actually happy with each other. You get what I'm saying? Like, it could be one party of that person, like the wife could be happy, but the husband's miserable, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It just, you know. But the thing is, that starts from within you. It's not because of somebody you with. You got to be happy with yourself first and foremost. Just like me, I'm happy with myself. I'm pretty sure you happy with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure you went through all kinds of stuff.
I've been through many things, still going through some things, but
yeah,
I'm not letting it stop me from being who I am.
That's right. And honestly, that's where that light is at. And you know, people who are not spiritual, that's why a lot of spiritual people like us get attacked, because of that light. And when people see light, they don't like it. I'm pretty sure y'all probably been in situations where you've been around somebody, they just don't like you for no reason at all. You could just be there chilling, minding your own business. You know, they speak to you, hey, how you doing? What's up? You know, you holler at them, whatever. Some people get mad just because you open the door for them and stuff, think you trying to holler at them and all this kind of stuff, you know, like a female or whatever. You got people that get mad at you simply because, you know, you try to go over to the side of the road to park or whatever. They hurry up and cut you, and you know, it's a lot of those stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all get it. You know what I'm saying? People just and where that stems from, that coming from inner hatred within. That's more of a spiritual thing. That ain't got nothing to do with how much money you got or none of that stuff. That's all illusion right there. It's all smoke and mirrors. I mean, what you think about that?
Some people, they don't care who, they basically don't care anything about you. You have some people that'll speak to you, how you doing, you know?
Right.
How you been, you know? How is your day like? People out there just take a look at you and roll their eyes.
Yeah.
Like, get out my face.
Yeah. And that right there is a spiritual problem. But just because a person do that to you don't mean that you have to change for who you are. I always said this here, even to my aunt buddy, I always told him this always. I said, just because the world's the world don't mean that you have to be a part of this world. In other words, you can be whole on your own and not actually accept what the world gives you. And that's one of the realest things I ever came up with. Even actually being as long as I am on this earth and actually understanding and collecting knowledge up here and the understanding of what's going on in this world. You know, I feel like, hey, you gotta love yourself first and foremost before anybody love you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it should not even be that. The real true love comes from within. You know what I'm saying? It's not, oh, I got with this person, I got with that person, whatever. Oh, I'm whole now. No, they don't work that way. You gotta love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And once you love yourself, that same energy that you put out here is the same energy that you'll get back. So you gotta realize everybody's like a conductor of energy. Let's just say, for example, if you got a positive and you got a negative, that's half of energy. Matter of fact, y'all need to get this book called Sun Tzu, The Art of War. That's just only half of a battle worn. Two positives is definitely gonna create a positive. A negative and a positive is just only gonna have half of that. And of course, negative and negative, that's not gonna work at all. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna just be negative. You know what I'm saying? We work off of energy, people. We don't work off of all this person, what they look like and all that. Man, I got people that's in my circle from all different color, race, whatever you want to call it. And you know what I'm saying? They mad cool, man. I ain't got nothing but love and respect for all of them. So I'm not going to be on my channel try to promote that garbage and try to say, oh, okay, the black race, the more superior race and all that junk. No, that ain't got nothing to do with that. My thing is this here. I'm trying to just try to put a message out here to let people know that we all is one thing. All these biases, all this stuff. I mean, just like, for example, when you take religion, you know, all right, let's talk real about the religion thing. You know what I'm saying? Now y'all that, you know what I'm saying, you know, no disrespect to y'all or whatever. You know, you can believe what you want to believe. You know, that's totally up to you. But I'm finna just say this here. What's the difference between this sun in the north, this sun in the east, right? The sun in the south and the sun in the west, you know what I'm saying? What's the difference? It ain't no difference. Just because God dog all these suns is from different parts of the world don't mean that you ain't talking about the same thing. Just like, for example, let me give y'all a quick little lesson because I don't want to make this video too long and I don't want to rant too much. But when you think about, like, let's say in the East, when you talk about Buddha is pretty much like what people be calling like the sun god. Even when you look at Buddha, they always have like the sun around it. When you talk about Jesus Christ, he got the halo around his head. That's the sun. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you're talking about Anubis in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? The sun. So what's the difference between this tool and that tool? They all talking about the same thing, which is love, light, and so on and so forth, even though they add folklore, myths, and all this other stuff added to it, and a little bit of the truth. But at the end of the day, it's still the same message. So at the end of the day, people, ask yourself this question: why are we fighting? And why you got self-hatred with your own color? If anybody could answer that question, put it down in the comment, please, because I love to hear from what y'all have to say. And like I said, with two ordinary guys like ourselves, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know some of y'all probably don't care about it, or, you know, probably ain't even made it this far in the video, but the ones who actually made it this far in the video, I salute y'all. I appreciate y'all. This is coming from a real place, and this is coming from a real message. The whole message is we need to stop fighting over these like little things and actually start coming together as one people. And that's all I gotta say for real. I think that's about the conclusion of this video.
Yeah, we're not really doing this video for likes. We just letting you know basically like how everything should be.
Yeah,
the difference between the way things are.
From life experiences, his experiences, my experiences, your experiences. Everybody got different experiences, but mostly I'm pretty sure all of them experiences come down to one thing, and that's got love and light, and actually try to come together so we could be as one on this planet. And all I gotta say is thank God that you is on this planet, because I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. I don't care all these rich folks out here talking about they want to go to Mars and all this crazy junk, man. Trust me, ain't no other planet, you're gonna survive that is on Earth. Unless you got some super fast spaceship that could take you to, I don't know, what they call it, Kepler, some numbers or whatever. They said it's like some Earth planet out there or whatever. Unless you got some super fast spacecraft that could get you light years away, go right ahead, get to that planet. You know, kudos to you. But at the end of the day, stop taking a lot of things for granted. Stop taking people's kindness for granted. Stop taking this planet for granted, and stop taking just being here and understanding little small things from experience for granted. And that's all I'm gonna say on this video. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.